You know, friends, at one time, Chassidim on the way to Lublin, to the Holy See of Lublin, Mamish ran out of food. You know, they were all like little holy hippies going to their holy master. And, you know, hitchhiking, going, walking. Was a group of 20 Chassidim and just came to a point that just didn't have anything to eat in days. So one of them says there is no other way. One of the Chassidim goes to the next village and he says, what's going on in this city? Don't you know that the greatest Rebbe in the world is on his way to come to this village? Say, which Rebbe? What Rebbe? When Rebbe? The holy Perfect Rebbe, Gewalt. He says, I'm afraid to mention his name, he's so holy. And he's telling stories, you know, he can cure the sick in a minute. People who had no children for 100 years, he can have you have a child even before 9 months. He can do anything in the world. And he's telling stories, you know, people don't believe that such a thing exists. Okay, finally, you know, he goes back. They're waiting behind the trees there next to the synagogue. 20 people. He says, everything is prepared. And, you know, a Rebbe has to have a little, you know, this dignified look on his face. Okay, all the Chassidim, the 19 Chassidim surround him. And the one Rebbe who was chosen to be the Rebbe, he's walking, you know, his eyes closed, walks in. He knows how to do it. They come into the synagogue and he's the Rebbe. And very wealthy man walks up to him and says, Rebbe, can I have the great honor of inviting you and your followers to my house for a feast tonight? Gewalt, you know, thank God you heard our prayers, Gewalt. If you would only know how hungry we are, right? Anyway, to make it very short, they go there, Baruch Shem, it's a Gewalt feast, they didn't have so good since their own Bar Mitzvah, you know, I mean, okay, they ate for all of Israel, and not only of that generation, of all generations to come, you know. It's a Gewalt feast. Okay, here you have to open your heart. Then the rich man gets on his feet. And he says, my dearest brothers, I'm so glad you came to my house. I'm so glad the Rebbe came to my house. Because I want you to know, it should never happen to anyone. My little child is dying. The doctor says to me, just till tomorrow morning. And he says, Rebbe, I'm so glad you came. You're a messenger of God to cure my child. Gewalt. You can't fool around. You can't fool people. You know, all the Chassidim, you know, they never felt so broken on any Yom Kippur. Gewalt, what we did to this poor man. He had no right to do this. Who needs food, right? Who wants to eat? Ah, they're so broken. And the Rebbe is always white like a sheet. Gewalt, what am I going to do now? And he says to the rich man, sure, you know, let me see the baby. Anyway, he walks with the rich man and he sees there's a little girl, 3-4 years old. The doctor wasn't lying. She's taking off in a few hours, just at the end. He says to the father, please, let me be alone with this baby for an hour. An hour later he comes out with the baby in his arms. The baby is laughing. The baby is well. Mamish. The baby is well. He was a Rebbe. He really was a Rebbe. Gewalt was a Rebbe. You see, all the pupils of Sea of Lublin think they were just going there to see how the Rebbe eats chicken soup on Friday night, right? They learned something. Right? But anyway, obviously he was a Rebbe. The rich man thanks him so much and gives them gifts and everything. They go to the outskirts of the city. And the Holy Ropshitzer, who was like the leader of the whole group, it was basically his idea to someone should be a Rebbe. He stops and he says, okay, brother, what's going on with you? If you really are a Rebbe, if you have reached the level that you can perform such miracles, why are you holding back? Why don't you tell us? And obviously you know how to do it. And again, if you can't do it, how did you do it now? Something is wrong there. And we demand to have a straight answer. And again, you have to open your heart the deepest way. He says, the truth is, I'm not a Rebbe. I don't know how to pray. I don't even know how to perform miracles. Don't know anything. But I want you to know one thing. I'm sitting there alone with this little baby. And suddenly one thing was clear to me. He's not looking for a Rebbe. He's not looking for miracles. The father's simply begging God, please have compassion on my baby. Sadly enough, stupidly enough, he thinks that I'm closer to God than he is. Which isn't true. He says, I remember that passage. There's a passage in the Psalms. It says, Ayikol mobi mevakshecho elokei Yisrael. Don't put to shame those who are looking for you, God, because of me. He says, Master of the world, the truth is, I don't know how to do it. But he's not looking for me, he's looking for you, God. He's only looking for you. You know, obviously it is very, very obvious in our generation. Everybody is looking for something, running here, running there, but what we are really looking for, just one little message from God. We are looking for one sign from God. We are looking for one sign from heaven that we amount to something. I don't want to be a number. I don't want to be one more Jew, one more human being, one more walking around machine. I want to know, Rabbeinu Shalom, Master of the world, do I count by you? Does it matter to you what I'm doing? Does it really matter?